Then, of course, if you don't like open world games, is Call of Duty Blops 3.
Flopsies.
Multiplayer has MOBA-esque specific character roles. No exosuit, but you have mini boosts.
How do you feel about that MOBA thing, Mitch?
So I was talking to Brian Albert, who you can go read Brian's preview on IGN now. And
He's
just
a
kinda
big MOBA guy, right?
Yeah, he's a big MOBA fan. So he was texting me and telling me, like, hey, Black Ops 3's multiplayer is basically a MOBA where there are specific characters that you choose, and then you outfit them with different stuff. So they'll have set skills, or you can equip different perks, but they operate independent of each other. So if you pick the robot, he's different than the lady, who's different from the big muscle man, because they all have different skills that the others can't use, which is very MOBA-esque. It's like a class-based system to another extreme. I think that's cool. I like that approach a lot, because then it means you're going to see different heroes doing different things because they serve different purposes,
Yeah.
as opposed to, well, everyone's got the saw because it's the strongest gun in the game.
Yeah. But I mean, it also seems like it's inching back towards like Team Fortress. Something like very
Little bit,
specialized
yeah.
roles, which Call of Duty's never quite done. Like you said, it's always been like, yeah, you can choose one of 1,000 guns, but very quickly everyone realizes this is the only rifle you should
So what I hope this means for Call of Duty is that for the first time in this game's history, it will be a team-based multiplayer game. Because Call of Duty has always been, and the satisfying thing about it has been, we can all play together, and we'll be on the same team, but none of us care what anyone else is doing. We're just doing our own thing. We're getting kill streaks. We're getting, we're getting these kill streaks and all these rewards and stuff like that, and we can talk to each other like, oh, I got a UAV, and great, that helps the team, no problem. But that's your accomplishment. I don't get anything out of that. I have to kind of be my own lone wolf. This, I hope, intrinsically means that there are more cooperative elements to it. Like, I'm dying. I need you to give me a heal while I support Max, who is our heavy gunner, and then Marty will be up in the front of it, like, causing a distraction. Like, that kind of stuff could potentially be way more interesting than any Call of Duty multiplayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have faith in Treyarch. Like they've been the ones who've been sort of moving the needle of the three. Well, the now 3 Call of Duty development teams. They've been the one who's been doing interesting things.
And now they've had 3 years to make this.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, I'm hoping a lot out of that. I'm a little bummed that the single player just seems like more of Advanced Warfare.
And I love Call of Duty campaigns. I really enjoyed Advanced Warfare. Black Ops is my favorite Call of Duty series by far. Like, Modern Warfare was obviously great, but I love Black Ops. That launch trailer and like the little bit of gameplay we saw looks probably like the most boring thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's muscle men fighting robots in a near future where there's like cyber skills from other video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like it'll be the best selling game of the year no matter
Sure.
what they do.
Yeah.
Which is kind of bums me out because it's like, imagine if you had that kind of power and you used it to create something that was really moving the needle. Like,
Yeah.
just assuming everyone will buy it anyway, like, why not make something incredible? Which is not to say that those games don't work fundamentally. Like, Max and I were talking about this the other day. Like, people give so much to Call of Duty. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
For being redundant and being repetitive and just milking annual franchises. But they still sell the best, and they sell the best because they are incredibly tight to play. They work. Like, the firing a gun in those games feel better than it does in almost any other first-person shooter.
Yep.
It just works.
Totally agree.
It's all the window dressing that kind of bores me, but the actual fundamentals of gameplay mechanics in those games are awesome. Yeah, like they're unmatched. But I get a little bored of the same. It just feels like the same stuff every year.
Yeah, and I'm optimistic that this will do interesting new things in the single player because it's like it's a 4-player co-op for the whole thing, right?
I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
It's designed 4-player co-op, which
is
could
cool.
be really cool.
It could also be kind of a death knell for it, right? Because Call of Duty is always hinged on big scripted events.
Yeah.
And you could probably make that for 4 people at the same time. But the kind of integral feature for that series has been like, I am a first-person man, and crazy stuff is happening to me, and I fell down, and now I'm getting up and fighting.
I'm looking at the nuke blow up, and I'm the one dying of the nuke blowing up, that kind of thing.
So maybe there's different stuff happening for every player. Maybe it just kind of happens, and if you see it, you see it. That could be interesting.
I mean, the
give
way
you a
they
little more
described
agency.
Like they describe the combat scenarios as more open sort of arena with like a ton of different
multiple routes,
options,
bigger space,
which could be cool. I mean, that sounds kind of like Halo, which sounds great.
Yep.
Like that the one thing Halo has going for it is like the combat scenarios are so
sandbox
interesting.
combat.
Yeah, that could be really cool. And then they talked about zombies. Zombies are coming back.
That's cool.
Yeah, I really like the zombies mode in Black Ops 2. I don't know if you guys played it.
No, I
did. It turned into like Cabin in the Woods. Like it just kept going deeper and deeper, and there literally was a cabin in the woods where you go underneath it, and there's like a laboratory, and crazy stuff starts happening. So I hope that's cool too. And they always get weird actors, so I hope they get like Freddie Prinze Jr.
Perfect.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
That's weird. I mean, it's a weird place to start your list. But
Yep.
sure.
Star Wars Rebels and Dragon Age Inquisition.
And
I also can we talk about
She's all that.
yeah, which is getting remade. Can we talk about how the trailer was like? Yeah, they're remaking She's All That. Right.
All right, let's talk about anything else.
Can we talk about the stupid trailer and how lazy it was to just be like, what's the song that has black in the title? Like Black
Paint It
Ops.
Black?
Paint It Black.
Yeah.
Brought to you by Jack Black.
Yeah.
Probably later.
Yeah, that was
Featuring the Black Eyed Peas.
yeah.
And the Black Keys.
Yeah, I mean they could put up a a logo of a spinning gun with a guy just playing guitar over it. And be like, yeah, it's good. It's
The sand came in.
It's called. Then the sand came and took my wife. So now I have to shoot the sand. Wife stealing sand. And it would still sell billions of copies.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm excited
They
for
could
this.
they
but
could literally call it cod blops.
Cod Blops.
Which is like, but it doesn't stand for Black Ops. It's just Blops.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, I'd love it if
It's just a fish taking a dump.
like 10 years from now or 15 years or whatever it is, when they're always like Call of Duty plays it safe, you know, like
Yep.
they very much they're doing like sci-fi stuff that was kind of a thing like 5 years ago. They're still doing
Yeah.
zombie stuff because it's like, I mean, we're all sick of zombies. A lot of people aren't sick of zombies. Zombies are still a thing.
I'm
too.
super not.
Okay, well that's
I'm
great.
way into
I'm
zombies.
so happy for you.
Yeah, me
Thank
too.
you.
I was stoked on zombies when I was in high school, and they're cool, but it's just, you know, how about a dragon? How about we shoot a dragon? We could shoot a dragon
With a gun?
Yeah, with a gun. You ever shoot a dragon with a gun?
No,
I haven't
not
shot a
often.
dragon with
You
a
should
gun.
play
I wanna
League of
do it.
Legends.
No, I shouldn't.
Yeah.
Stop trying to trick us.
What about throwing rocks at a lion?
Yeah, but I wonder if we're gonna see like
Can also
if
do
we're
that
gonna
in League of
see
Legends.
like if Call of Duty will ever reach what is weird now. Like if it will ever get Blood Dragony, or like just if it'll ever get like self-aware.
yeah.
I mean, I'd love it if they came out with just like a Black Ops reboot that is just called COD Blops, but it's all like an entire like it's an acronym for something entirely different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not Call of Duty Black Ops.
Well,
it's like
Yeah, I think that's like that's what
Center
they're
for Operative Defense,
In
League
their-
Oppression Police Snipers or something. I don't know.
Wow, that was
That was yeah. You
I
reached
think
deep.
in their minds, that's what zombie mode is. It's like their escapism to be like, oh, we're gonna do the weird, crazy stuff over here. But even that's like sort of safe at this point. Even when
Yeah.
they go way out there and they're like, we got
aliens in
these
ghosts.
turtles in this game.
I think
you
it's
know?
because you do again. It goes back to the whole business side of things. If you've got the boss man who's like, you know, the bean counters or whatever, and shareholders or whatever, they're not going to be like. You're not going to impress them with like a goofy, jokey thing, you know. They're going to want to see something like polished and AAA, and you're like, here's something that took millions of dollars, you know. You come out and you're like, here's a part where you throw a rock at a lion. No one's going to be like,
Man, your idea already got turned into a game.
I know. You see that?
I like,
No,
I like that.
I would love Call of Duty Blood Dragon or something like that.
Yeah,
you know,
be
like something
awesome.
where they were just like, hey, we've been doing this for 20 years and 90 games, and we just want to around. We just
Yeah.
want to do something crazy.
I mean, that's as sad as it is now. That's what Duke Nukem was when it first came out.
Yeah,
like Duke Nukem
totally.
3D was like, hey, what if first-person shooters had like a sense of humor for a second?
Yep.
You know.
And it's like you would still get your traditional multiplayer campaign. You could even still get your traditional single-player campaign where they're like, Vasquez, get to the... And like, he loses his arm, whatever. And then there's an
Well,
explosion, and
Vasquez.
you see his hand in the air, and somebody reaches down, but he's a double crosser. What's going to happen? He's going to take out his eyeball and shoot you with a laser. But do that, and then
This
like
sounds awesome.
3 months later, do the really insane thing where you're like shooting dolphins and stuff like
I
that.
guess they almost do that with the DLC. You
Yeah.
know, like I love that like the DLC
But
for
go weirder, you know?
for Ghosts was like, hey, Freddy Krueger and Buffy the Vampire Slayer
Yeah.
got to go and fight aliens in Alaska or something.
Yep.
That's oddly
They're
accurate.
big old crab men have coming out of the ground and you can shoot at them.
Yep.
And everyone's still like, it's just a military
Who's
shooter.
that over there in the corner? It's Freddie Prinze Jr.
He's
Save
a
the
lion.
day.
Never expected me.
Here's a lion. Someone threw a rock at him and he's angry.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify. I don't think you should throw rocks at lions in real life. I just think that's a funny thing to do in a video game.
All right.
Thanks, Brian.
Yeah.
Sure. we got a lot of people that listen. We're influencers.
Hashtag influencers.